I'm DJ Ray. Welcome. I'm in here every Tuesday live on TikTok at 8 p.m. sharp. And every week I do the greatest of different music themes, different, greatest rock star of all time, the greatest song of all time, the greatest country artist of all time, which speaking of, it's coming next week. Oh, Darren, you're picking Run DMC? Good choice. Good choice. By the way, if you want to throw in there, because that's one of the contests I'm going to start doing soon, is if anyone can pick the number one of whatever the theme is tonight, it's the greatest hip hop artist of all time. If anyone could pick the number one, not tonight, because I'm still trying to figure out the gift thing, but I'm going to have prizes for the person who first types in the chat the number one answer. So if you think you know who the greatest hip hop artist of all time is, type it in. Hey, Justin. Okay, so let's get going. Again, I'm DJ Ray. I count down usually the top 20 and every Tuesday at 8 p.m. on TikTok. I count down the top 20 in pursuit of the number one of whatever the theme is. Tonight it's hip hop. So the greatest hip hop artist of all time, let's get started with number 20. And I don't know if you guys know this one. This one's going way back, but Eric B. and Rakim. Okay, we're an American hip hop duo formed on Long Island, New York in 1986. They are considered by many as a pioneer in the hip hop genre. During rap music's golden age in the late 1980s, this duo, Eric B. and Rakim, almost universally recognized as the premier DJ MC combo in all of hip hop. However, we must keep in mind that this was during the period of time that rap was transitioning into a fresh and newer sound in the 80s. Although hip hop has been around since the 1970s, it wasn't until the early 90s that this new urban sound started to truly blossom. And although Eric B. and Rakim are well respected in the hip hop field, I personally feel that they're slightly overrated in the sense that their biggest singles either charted very low on the US charts or didn't chart at all. For example, their most iconic track, Paid in Full, didn't even place on Billboard's Hot 100 chart. In fairness, hip hop music was still relatively new at this point in time, and this duo would have fared much better if they had debuted in the early to mid 90s. So basically what I'm saying here is the evolution of hip hop. It started in the 70s, but there was no real hip hop in the 70s. I mean, the first hip hop band I really consider is, the Grandmaster Flash, Sugar Hill Gang. There's one. And yeah, I guess they were hip hop. They were hip hop, but they were few and far between. Hip hop took some time, and it was more of a rap thing, and I find in the late 80s, it started transitioning into that smooth sound. And Eric B. and Rakim just missed it, but many would consider them godfathers of the genre. So coming in at number 20, I got to go with Eric B. and Rakim, just from the hype alone. Okay, so once again, I'm DJ Ray. Every Tuesday at 8, I'm here counting down the greatest of different music categories. And today, it's the greatest hip hop artist of all time. Hey, my off-grid, how are you? Cool. Hi, Sarah. Sarah and I figured out how to do the volume for future guests, so that's cool. Cool, okay. Let me just grab a drink here, and we'll continue with number 19. I can't believe how dry I get when I'm doing these lives. It's a lot of talking. Not that I'm not used to talking a lot, but it runs in our family. Okay, so number 20 goes to Eric B. and Rakim on the greatest hip hop artists of all time. Remember, Casey and JoJo. The thing is with Casey and JoJo, Darren, is I don't really consider them hip hop. I mean, they've got a hip hop tinge to them, but they're more of an R&B duo. So yeah, I wouldn't consider Casey and JoJo, but great duo for sure. Okay, so number 20 was Eric B. and Rakim as we continue my countdown of the basically 20 greatest hip hop artists, but all I'm concerned about is number one. And you're picking Eminem. Okay, you're locked in first with that one. I think somebody picked, we have Casey and JoJo, but you might want to pick again because, yeah, they're not. So Ange has Eminem. Darren has Run DMC. See if anybody else. Okay, I'll kind of keep a watch and see if we can get everybody's. Okay, Darren's going for Dr. Dre instead. Okay, much better choice. You don't know yet? Okay, we'll continue on, Chrissy, and get back to me on that. So, number 20, Eric B. and Rakim, taking me to number 19, considered an OG in the hip hop movement. He began his career as an underground rapper until he was signed with Sire Records in 1987. Of course, I'm talking about Ice-T, who probably had a better movie career as an actor than he did hip hop. But back in the 80s, Ice-T had it going on. Although he only charted twice on Billboard's Hot 100 with Colors in 1988 and New Jack Hustler in 1991. My favorite Ice-T track was his 1988 single, I'm Your Pusher. Although the title of this track suggests pushing drugs, it actually has a positive message about promoting music. You should watch the video sometime. It doesn't show too much. It never showed much because it didn't really chart, but it's called I'm Your Pusher by Ice-T. Throughout his career, Ice-T won 2 Grammy Awards, including Best Rap Performance in 1991. And I think it's a good check putting Ice-T at number 19 on my top 20 greatest hip-hop artists of all time. Okay, so number 18. Here's one for you. These guys were an American hip-hop trio from East Orange, New Jersey. Little hint there. Consisting of Treach, Vin Rock, and DJ KG. Any guesses? 5, 4. How you doing, Determination? 3, 2, 1. We're talking about Naughty by Nature. Coming in at number 18. Their first hit single came in 1991 with the song OPP. Remember that one? OPP. Which actually sampled the Jackson 5's hit from the 70s, early 70s, ABC. So if you listen to OPP again and you're wondering, what's that sound? I recognize it. It's actually sampling Jackson 5's ABC. Other big hits for this trio, Naughty by Nature, include Hip Hop Hooray. Remember that one? Hip Hop Hooray. Oh, that one. And that's probably their most iconic. And Jamboree is another one in 1999. It never quite took off, but that song is so cool. If you've never heard it and you like hip hop, yeah, check out Jamboree. Came out in 1999 by Naughty by Nature. But both of these tracks, Jamboree and Hip Hop Hooray, charted within the top 10 in the US on the mainstream music charts. In 1992, this trio won the American Music Award for Best Rap Performance by a Group. And in 1995, their album Poverty's Paradise won the Grammy Award for Best Rap Album. So, yeah, sometimes this trio gets overlooked, but as a DJ, playing them in the clubs, any one of their songs just rocks the dance floor. So if you like a danceable, kind of a fun, easy flowing type of hip hop group, Naughty by Nature is what you're looking for. They come in at number 18. So just to recap, so far we have number 20, greatest hip hop artists of all time. Number 20, Eric B. and Rakim. Number 19, Ice-T. And number 18, Naughty by Nature. Once again, I'm DJ Ray. I do this every Tuesday night live at 8 p.m. on TikTok, picking a greatest of different themes in music. Tonight it's about the greatest hip hop artists of all time, taking me to number 17. Lil' Kim is an American rapper who lived most of her adolescent life on the streets of New York after being expelled from her home. In 1994, she was discovered by fellow rapper, the Notorious B.I.G., late Notorious B.I.G., who invited her to join his group, Junior Mafia. Of course, she would eventually start dating Biggie, and yeah, we'll say not much more about that. bit of a disaster. Her song Lady Marmalade with Christine Aguilera, Maya, and Pink is considered one of the best-selling singles of all time. It topped the US music charts, and in 2002, it won the Grammy Award for Best Pop Collaboration with Vocals. Considered by many as the queen of rap, Little Kim, many artists name Little Kim as their influence. Artists like Nicki Minaj, Rihanna, Doja Cat, Cardi B, Ice Spice, and even Miley Cyrus, to name a few. So she was definitely a big influence in hip hop, and especially from on the female side. One of the original, not the original. I mean, Queen Latifah was certainly before her, I believe. Yeah, but coming in at number 17 on my journey to find the greatest hip hop artists of all time, I'm going to go with Little Kim at number 17. Take a quick drink of water. And I just at this point want to mention something. I always have a scoring system for these greatest charts. Tonight, always out of 10. And tonight, 3 points are awarded for the lyrics of the songs that each artist put out. 3 points are awarded for the amount of songs charted that they put out. 2 points is awarded for the artist's popularity, overall popularity, and 2 points are awarded for cultural impact. So that's my scoring system. And number 17 is Little Kim. Taking me to number 16. He is credited as one of the pioneers of trap music, along with fellow Georgia-based rappers Jeezy and Gucci Mane. Okay, his stage name is T.I. Okay, throughout his career, he had two number one singles in the US with the songs Whatever You Like and Live Your Life with Rihanna, both released in 2008. A 3-time Grammy Award winner, T.I. has been described as one of the leading figures in hip hop during the 2000s. Some of his other accolades include 3 BET Awards, 2 AMAs, and I don't have enough hands, but 12 Billboard Music Awards for T.I. So coming in at number 16 on my pursuit of the greatest hip hop artist of all time, T.I. takes it. And at that point, I would just like to again invite you. Hi, Heather. I'd like to invite you to type in who you think your favorite, or sorry, not your favorite, who you think is the number one hip hop artist of all time. I've had a couple votes for Eminem. I had Jay says it's Drake, another great choice. Kendrick Lamar. How do you know Kendrick? Yeah, Kendrick Lamar. He probably just went on the internet and just threw one out there. Dr. Dre. So there's quite a few good choices out there. So we're going to find out in a few more minutes who number one is. But right now we're at number 15. And number 15 is an American rapper and record producer who is known for his varying music style and polarizing political commentary. Who could that be? So number 15 is Kanye West, all-time greatest hip-hopper. Throughout his career, he has been a frequent source of controversy, including his comments on music, fashion, race, anti-Semitism, and U.S. politics. In 2020, he launched an unsuccessful U.S. presidential campaign, if you can believe it, that advocated for a consistent life ethic. Yeah. Sometimes these guys get so big, they just lose their mind, But then again, Donald Trump is doing it. So these stars it's going to be all movie stars and musicians in the future running this world. I can just see it now. Kanye West had a total of 3 number one singles in the US, including Gold Digger, 2005, Stronger, my favorite Kanye West song, 2007, and Carnival, just recently in 2024. So, in fairness to Kanye, he's still charting, you know. So, and that was number one, Carnival. So, pretty impressive in that sense. With over 160 million records sold, he has won 18 Billboard Music Awards and an astonishing 24 Grammy Awards. So, you know, Kanye West could probably be bumped a little higher, but, you know, the thing is, um, you know, things like, I don't know, when you look at the scoring system, it comes out pretty fair, but I got to be honest with you, other than his song Stronger and maybe Gold Digger, I don't know, although it gets kind of tiring after a while, it's a little poppy. I'm not a huge fan of Kanye West, but he definitely deserves at least the number 15 spot on the greatest hip hop artists of all time. So, on that, I'd just like to remind you, hey, Vito, I don't know if you said hi yet. Just married the wrong person. Yeah, Chrissy. I think a few of these guys or girls married the wrong person, but we won't get into that. I'm DJ Ray. I do these lives every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. sharp, and every week it's a different theme in a pursuit to find the greatest of whatever, greatest guitar player, greatest music duo. And tonight it's about the greatest hip hop artist of all time. So let's continue with number 14. This guy, in my opinion, doesn't get enough credit. He is one of my favorite hip hoppers, although he's a little on the pop side. You know, when you get a bit older, you need that little bit of, you know, adult contemporary vibe. It's a sign of age. Number 14 is an American rapper who began his music career in 1993 as a member of the Midwest hip hop group Saint Lunatics. His name is Nelly. Well, his stage name. I'm sticking with stage names for the most part here, because that's what you guys remember, and me as well. Some of Nelly's most popular singles include Ride With Me in 2001, Hot in Here in 2002, Shake Your Tail Feather in 2003, and Grills in 2005. In my opinion, Ride With Me is one of the greatest hip hop tracks of all time, and one that always seems to rock the dance floor as a sing along. Join my team. If you want to go, yeah, just a great song. If you've never heard it, I'll be surprised if you've never heard it, but check it out. Ride With Me by Nelly, which came out was released in 2001, one of Nelly's original songs. Throughout his professional career, Nelly has won multiple accolades, including 3 Grammys and 9 Billboard Music Awards. So coming in at number 14, I got to give it to Nelly. You know, I sometimes think, as he was so big in the early 2000s, how big he really could have been, and I don't think he gets the respect in the hip hop, you know, circle that he deserves. But anyway, for me, Nelly's number 14 on the greatest hip hop artists of all time. Taking me to number 13, my favorite number. And we have our second female. She was an American rapper and record producer whose biggest hits include Get Your Freak On in 2001, Work It in 2002, and Lose Control in 2005. Often referred to, this will give it away, as the Queen of Hip Hop, her accolades include 4 Grammy Awards and a star on Hollywood's Walk of Fame. I'm talking about Missy Misdemeanor Elliott at number 13. In 2019, Missy Elliott was inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame, becoming the first female rapper to receive this honor. And in 2023, she also became the first female rapper to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Pretty cool. I would have to say, you know, Missy Elliott is like, yeah, as people say, the queen of hip hop. you know, it's been a while since she's really been in the spotlight, but yeah, she is pure hip hop. So coming in at number 13, Missy Misdemeanor Elliott, which leads me to number 12. Some of you might be surprised by this one, maybe thinking he should be higher, but let me explain. Regarded by many as one of the greatest and most influential rappers of all time, Tupac Shakur. Tupac sold more than 75 million records worldwide. And we're talking about the late Tupac, of course. He had two number one hits in the US with California Love in 1995 and How Do You Want It in 1996. Although much of his content addresses social injustice, political issues, and the marginalization of African Americans, he was also synonymous, say that 5 times quick. He was also synonymous with gangster rap and violent lyrics. So who was Tupac? Was he Mr. Nice Guy or Mr. Gangster? Both sides to him. So in 2017, American rapper Snoop Dogg called Tupac Shakur the greatest rapper of all time during his Rock and Roll Hall of Fame tribute. So coming in at number 12, I got to go with Tupac. And yeah, what I was going to say earlier about him maybe in some of your opinions being ranked higher, if you really dissect Tupac's career, you know, he didn't really do as much as some of these artists on the list. It's just his legacy, you know, between him and Biggie Smalls. Their legacy is what really put them over the top, especially in Tupac's case. But that's just my opinion, you know. So anyway, number 12 is not a bad spot all time. My greatest hip hop artists of all time, Tupac Shakur. Hey, Sprinkles, how are you? Tap, tap, tap. Yeah, keep tapping away. I love it. Thank you for the taps, by the way, guys. And I didn't see. Okay, yes, good, good, good. Okay, let me just get that out of there. Okay. Are you? Hey, Paul, how are you? Is your finger getting tired from all the tap tap? I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. Okay, let's carry on. I'm DJ Ray. Again, every Tuesday, 8 p.m., I'm live at TikTok, and we feature a different theme, the greatest of all time and different music themes. Tonight, it's the greatest hip-hop artist of all time. And we're at number 11. This guy was the co-founder of Death Row Records. Why is there always so much violence in hip-hop? That's the only, thing. But it wouldn't be hip-hop if it wasn't. So he was the co-founder of Death Row Records, and he initially found fame with the gangster rap group NWA. Does anybody know what NWA stands for? Because I can't say it on live. I don't think anybody should type it in, actually. But for short, NWA. In 1996, Dr. Dre was featured on 2 number 1 singles in the U.S., including Tupac's California Love and Blackstreet's No Diggity. Ninjas with Attitude. Yes, that's a good one. Sprinkles is perfect. We'll go with that from now on. Ninjas with Attitude. Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, Eazy. During the 2000s, Dr. Dre shifted focus onto production for other artists and went on to sign Eminem in 1998 and 50 Cent in 2002. Dr. Dre's accolades include several Grammys, including a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award just this last year, a few weeks ago in 2024. Finally got his recognition. And that's a big award, the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award. So yeah, Dr. Dre's pretty legendary. That same year, he received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Coming in at number 11 on the greatest hip-hop artists of all time, it's Dr. Dre. Okay, we're in the top 10. This is my favorite part. Well, my favorite part's when we get to the top three, but my second favorite part. So, number 10, right after I take a drink. And number 10, just like his counterpart, Dr. Dre, he rose to fame as a member of the gangster rap group NWA. But after monetary disputes, he left to pursue a solo career in 1989. His most popular singles include It Was a Good Day, 1996, Check Yourself, 1996, and You Can Do It, Put Your Back Into It, 1999. Paul, your Pick and Run DMC is number one. Another great choice. We got a few good choices, and we're getting up there. So, yeah, Ice Cube comes in at number 10. His most popular single, I said that so far. In 2016, Ice Cube was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a member of NWA. Was never inducted as a solo artist, which I find a little strange because he had a pretty good solo career. But in 2017, he received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And in 2024, he received the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award, just like his counterpart, Dr. Dre. I guess they didn't want the other to feel left out. And who had the better career? This is hard between Ice Cube and Dr. Dre. We can easily switch Dre to number 10 and Ice Cube to number 11. They have very parallel careers. So number 10 goes to Ice Cube, formerly of NWA, and of course, solo career. Again, a reminder, I'm DJ Ray. I'm here every Tuesday at 8, going live, and we have different themes every week, counting down the greatest of different music topics. And tonight, we're counting down the greatest hip-hop artists of all time, and I want to find out who the number one is. Number one. Okay, anyway. Number 9 goes to Outkast. Outkast was an American hip-hop duo consisting of the always flamboyant Andre 3000 and his partner Big Boi. They were hip-hop pioneers in the sense that they created their own unique hip-hop sound, which helped them top the U.S. charts 3 different times with their singles Miss Jackson, Hey Ya, and The Way You Move. Now, just look at those 3 songs. If you know them, Miss Jackson is just a pure hip-hop song. Hey Ya is like a urban pop track. And The Way You Move is like a R&B house track. So, and then they had songs like Bombs Over Baghdad, which was pretty hardcore rap. They're very unique, but they're definitely hip-hop pioneers by expanding hip-hop in the 2000s with different variations of sounds. So yeah, among their accolades, Outkast has won 6 BET Awards, 4 AMAs, which stands for American Music Awards, and 6 Grammy Awards, including Best Rap Album in both 2002 and 2004. In 2015, Rolling Stone magazine listed Outkast as one of the greatest duos of all time. So coming in at number 9, Andre 3000 and his partner Big Boi, Outkast. The greatest hip-hop artists of all time, which we're going to move on to number 8. This guy recorded his debut album in the year 2000, but it was never released due to the fact, check this out, that he was struck by 9 bullets during a shooting in May 2000. This incident caused him to be dropped by Columbia Records, and eventually he was discovered by Eminem, who helped him release his actual debut album, Get Rich or Die Trying, in 2003. Of course, I'm speaking of 50 Cent. Good job, Paul. I love that when you guys guess it before I even say it. That's why it's probably better for me to just do a little bit of a segue and you guys can kind of jump in. Paul knows his stuff. Okay, so yeah, 50 Cent, some of his most popular singles include In the Club, how can you forget that one, 2003, Disco Inferno, not the Tramps version, of course, in 2004, and Candy Shop in 2005, just to name a few. Paul is smart. In 2010, 50 Cent won a Grammy Award for the song Crack a Bottle featuring Eminem and Dr. Dre. Very suitable since Dr. Dre founded Eminem and Eminem founded 50 Cent. Let's keep it in the family, right? So number 8 on my all-time greatest hip-hop artist list goes to 50 Cent. Yeah. So, you guys liking this so far? Take you to the candy shop. Good one, Chrissy. Girl after my own heart. Yeah. There's a lot of great 50 Cent songs, actually. Okay. Is that for me, Paul? Or am I just wishful thinker? Thanks, Darren. I appreciate it. Okay. Let's carry on. So where were we? So 50 Cent came in at number 8. Lucky number 7 goes to Christopher Wallace, better known as Biggie Smalls or Notorious B.I.G. He produced music that spoke about hardship and criminality while also focusing on debauchery and celebration. He was the very first artist to be signed by, am I allowed to say this name? Puff Daddy's Bad Boy Records in 1993. Think about that. Diddy's first. Sometimes I wonder if he had anything to do with all the news coming out lately about Diddy. It's to do with all the news coming out lately about Diddy. It's atrocious. But he was the first artist to be signed by Puff Daddy, aka Diddy, in 1993. Biggie's most popular tracks include Juicy, 1994, Big Papa, also 1994, One More Chance in 1995, and Hypnotize, 1997. In 2009, a biographical film called Notorious was released, which depicted the life and career of Biggie. However, the film's debut was canceled due to a shooting that occurred in the parking lot outside the Grand 18 Theater in Greensboro, North Carolina. Did I freeze, Ange? Am I frozen? Am I still frozen or? A better, Ange? Okay, thank you. Cooked pasta. You guys have the lines. Anyway, okay, so coming in. Oh, wait, let me just finish here. Yeah, it's always a shooting, right? So, but if you want to check it out, the film's called, it's a biographical film about Biggie Smalls or Notorious B.I.G. It's called Notorious. And just one other thing. In 2012, Rolling Stone magazine called Biggie the greatest rapper that ever lived. And in 2020, he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Fair to see why Notorious B.I.G. comes in at number 7 on the greatest rappers of all time. So this next one, somebody said is number 1, but it's actually number 6. So I can't, there's a lot of scrolling for me to do here. So I can't, thanks, Sarah. Appreciate it. Almost to 20 grand. Oh, wow, you guys, thank you. You guys are awesome. Okay. And thanks for the like, Chrissy, Debbie, good job. So somebody said this next artist, okay? Again, if you're just joining, we're looking to crown the greatest hip hop artist of all time. We left off at number 7 with Notorious B.I.G., Biggie Smalls. And number 6, who said this one? Run DMC. Was a great choice, but it comes in at number 6. So whoever said Run DMC will not take the prize tonight. But let me tell you a little bit about this trio. They were an American group that were pioneers in building the bridge between rap and hip hop in the early 1980s. Remember I was saying earlier about rap? It was really rap music. And to me, it was rap music through the 80s. And it started to transition into hip hop when, Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre and NWA was still, and Public Enemy too, were still more rap. It was a little harsher, I find. And then it started to get this hip hop, this nice danceable vibe, almost like a bit of R&B mixed in with rap. And you got hip hop. So maybe that's a bad analogy, but um, Run DMC were the first hip hop group to appear on the cover of Rolling Stone magazine. That's pretty big accomplishment. Yeah, get that ghetto blaster out, Paul. Chrissy, you think MC Hammer or Bobby Brown? I don't really consider Bobby Brown hip hop. He had a little bit of a New Jack City vibe, but he's definitely more R&B, pop R&B. And Hammer, um, yeah, I don't really know what Hammer is. I would call him like he's definitely pop, but yeah, I guess he's got a touch of hip hop to him. I mean, if Hey Ya by Outkast can, so can Can't Touch This, you know. Um, so yeah, Run DMC first. That's amazing. The first hip hop group to appear on the cover of Rolling Stone magazine. That's not a joke magazine, especially in the day. And in 2004, Rolling Stone ranked them as one of the greatest artists of all time, not one of the greatest rappers, hip hoppers, greatest all time artists. So, Run DMC in 2009, they became the second ever hip hop group to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. More I'm reading of here, you know, maybe I should have placed Run DMC a little higher. Um, just incredible. And in 2016, they were honored with the prestigious Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award. The problem with Run DMC is they didn't really chart much, and it's unfair to them because they were pioneers of hip hop and they were stuck in that rap going into hip hop stage. So people weren't quite getting the music in the early mid 80s. So Run DMC, even though they had a great cult following, just didn't, in my opinion, came a little too early because they had a lot of great tunes, but they just didn't chart as much. And obviously, my scoring system out of 10, 3 points for lyrics, 2 points for cultural impact, 2 points for artist popularity, and 3 points for how many songs you charted. So for you look at it that way, number 6 is a pretty high spot. So whoever said Run DMC, I'm sorry it escapes me at the moment. Um, you're saying Eminem, Chrissy. So Ange said it first, so you can still go with it. That's fine. Um, but I think someone else said it too. Okay, so yeah, Run DMC. Those are some pretty good stats. I mean, coming in at number 6, Rev Run and Run DMC take it on the greatest hip hop artists of all time. Once again, I'm DJ Ray. Every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. religiously. I was here on Christmas Eve, which was a Tuesday, counting down the greatest Christmas songs of all time. I was here on New Year's Eve, a Tuesday, counting down the greatest party songs of all time. Chrissy asked me if I would do a hip hop one. I wasn't planning on doing one for a while, but if you guys want to hear something, type it in there, and I will definitely try to get it on one of my shows, one of my lives. Um, Again, every Tuesday at 8 p.m. So let's continue. And we're getting into the top 5. This is where it gets pretty heated. Okay. Number 5, Canadian rapper who initially gained recognition by starring as Jimmy Brooks in the teen drama series Degrassi, The Next Generation. Who am I speaking of? Canadian rapper. Number 5, obviously pretty high. You might maybe go as far as saying the greatest Canadian rapper that ever lived. Any guesses? Well, I'll end the drama and tell you. It's, no, not Dre, but it's Drake. So pretty close, Angel. I'll give you a half point on that one. We did Dre already. Anyway, unless you mistyped and you meant Drake. So, yeah. Some of Drake's most successful songs include Hotline Bling, 2015, One Dance, 2016, In My Feelings, 2018. You didn't know he was Canadian? Chrissy, that's interesting, yeah. And What's Next in 2021, to name just a small amount. I mean, this guy's been coming out with songs like crazy. He's just Quite the run. Throughout his career, Drake has won a total of 5 Grammy Awards and a record 41 Billboard Music Awards, including Artist of the Decade. In 2021, Drake became just the second act ever to occupy Billboard's top 5 in a single week. That is crazy. Just think about that. Top 5 songs for a whole week on Billboard's charts by one artist. The only other act that was able to do that was the Beatles in 1964. So that's majorly impressive. And part of the reason why Drake takes number 5 spot. So yeah, number 5 goes to Drake on my greatest hip hop artists of all time. Okay, number 4. Another time for a little sip. Okay, number 4. Again, although he and his wife Beyonce have been negatively viewed in recent news, this hip-hop icon and record executive was named the greatest rapper of all time by Billboard and Vibe magazines. Between the years 2004 to 2007, he served as president and CEO of Def Jam Records. Of course, we're talking about Jay-Z. Okay. Drake sucks, Paul. Yeah, I kind of a little bit agree with you. It's not, I like a lot of Drake's songs, but he comes out with so many. And for every great song, there's about 2 or 3. So it just, when artists come out with too many songs, sometimes the creativity is not quite there. So I somewhat agree. So back to number 4, Jay-Z. He's won an amazing 24 Grammy Awards and was the first ever rapper to be inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame. Major stats. As of 2025, he is the wealthiest music artist, not rapper, the wealthiest music artist, rock, Latin, reggae, hip hop, R&B, country. He's the wealthiest music artist in the world with a net worth of $2.5 billion US. So Jay-Z, as much as I have my, thoughts about him, he definitely deserves the number 4 spot on my greatest hip hop artists of all time. And that takes us to the top 3. It's not too late to put in your choice, even though I kind of, Vito, don't feel like that. I'm talking to you, buddy. Let's show the love to Vito. Feels like he's talking to himself. Okay, so let's carry on here to the top 3. Number 3, rooted in West Coast hip hop, he is widely regarded as one of the greatest and most influential rappers of all time. As a true Canadian, one of my greatest memories of Snoop was when he appeared on a few episodes of the infamous Trailer Park Boys. Not sure if you guys know that particular show, but it was a perfect role for him because he didn't even have to act. That's just the Canadian in me, I guess. Do we have a lot of Canadians in the house? Like, is this I feel like I'm hearing you, Vito. I'm hearing you. Just so you know. I think people just have their own little things going on. I'm trying to follow, but yeah. Snoop Dogg. Snoop Doggy Dogg. What do you call himself? Royal Lion at one point? Too much ganja. That's the thing. But among his many amazing tracks, his biggest single, Drop It Like It's Hot, topped the US music charts back in 2004. In 2018, he was awarded with a star on Hollywood's Walk of Fame. And in 2023, he was inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame. Just a few weeks ago, in December 2024, literally, around Christmas, this incredible hip-hop pioneer released his 20th studio album. 20. Was that 25? Okay. Counting is not my thing. He released his 20th studio album called Missionary, which peaked within the top 20 on Billboard's Hot Albums chart in the US. Can you believe that? Snoop Dogg, one of the, in my opinion, him and Dr. Dre and Ice Cube started hip hop in the early 90s, because that's when hip hop became hip hop. And the only issue I have with hip hop is most of the hip hop artists today just are still doing what Snoop and Dre and and Ice Cube and all these Biggie, what everything they did. It hasn't evolved, and it's such a popular genre, especially with the youth, that you would think they like it. So some of these artists, and I don't want to name names because Nana mentioned Kendrick Lamar. I'm not a fan. I just find a lot of these artists today, and this has been going on for, God, I think hip hop's been dead since 2010, in my own opinion, because everybody's just doing the same old stuff. So, like you said, Chrissy, you wanted it to be more old school hip hop. I agree with you, because that's really, it should be called a different genre, but it hasn't really evolved, and that's the issue I have with modern hip hop. And it's not that I'm out of date. It's I'm always on top of the latest charts and stuff, but it's just not the same, even though there's a lot of big hip hop artists now. It's just not the same. But number 3, I got to give it to my man Snoop Dogg, greatest hip hop artist of all time. Taking me to number 2. You want an OG? This guy's an OG. He's one of the earliest rappers. Whoops, what's this here? Okay, I don't know what that is. Okay, just having a little bit of something going on here that. One sec, guys. I don't know what's going on here. Something TikTok is. There we go. There we go. Okay. That was strange. Another first. Coming in at number 2, LL Cool J. As I said, he's one of the earliest rappers to achieve commercial success, launching his debut album in 1984 with Def Jam Records. A 2-time Grammy Award winner, he is known for songs like I'm Bad, 1987, Going Back to Cali, 1988, Mama Said Knock You Out, 1991, and Doing It, 1995, although that song has a bit of an R&B touch to it. In 2010, VH1 placed LL Cool J on their list of the greatest artists of all time. And in 2017, he became the first rapper to receive the Kennedy Center honors. And in 2021, he was officially inducted into the prestigious Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The number 2 artist of all time is LL Cool J. Okay, so let's take a second here, catch our breath, take a little drink if you guys got one. Non-alcoholic, just water. I learned my lesson quick. How you doing, Muddy Waters? Okay, so once again, I'm DJ Ray. Every Tuesday night at 8 p.m., I go live on TikTok for about 45 minutes or so. And I basically crown the greatest of a different music theme. We've done so many things, greatest guitar players, greatest, duos, greatest, different things. And tonight we're doing the greatest hip hop artist of all time, which takes me to number 1. And as usual, I need the traditional drum roll. Oh, there you go, Chrissy. Chrissy, you're on it. Or Ange, that was you. Sorry. Am I getting predictable with the drum roll thing? Okay. Who said it? Somebody said it. The number 1 hip hop artist of all time is a white guy. That's right. Marshall Bruce Mathers III. Congrats, Ange. Better known as Eminem, is an American rapper and record producer who is credited with popularizing hip hop music in Middle America. His success is considered to have broken racial barriers to the acceptance of white rappers in popular music. Not that too many white rappers have pulled it off. I mean, doth we bring up Vanilla Ice from the early 90s? That was a poor attempt. But Eminem was the real deal. His most successful songs on the US charts include The Real Slim Shady, Without Me, Lose Yourself, my favorite, Love the Way You Lie, The Monster, and his most recent hit, Houdini, released in May 2024. Now, keep in mind, some of these songs aren't really his hardcore hip hop ones. He's good, but not number one, Paul. Who did you say was number one, Paul? Did you think was? Yeah, the thing is with Eminem, he is a little poppy at times, but when he does his hip hop, no one tops him, in my opinion. And for a white guy to top a chart that is predominantly dominated by African Americans, I hope that's the right words to use. Run DMC, well, see, you know what, Paul? Run DMC is definitely higher than where I put them. The problem is they didn't chart much. And based on my scoring system, lyrics, artist popularity, cultural impact, and songs charted, they lose points because of that. And it's unfair to them because they just came at the wrong time. They came at a time when nobody really knew what that sound was. You know, they were digging it, and it just didn't chart with Middle America, you know. Speaking of Middle America, back to our number one, Eminem, with estimated worldwide sales of, check this, over 220 million records sold. He was the first artist to have 10 albums consecutively debut at number one on the Billboard 200 chart. That's incredible. 10 albums at number one, debuting, you know. No problem, Chrissy. I had fun doing it. And yeah, if you have any other themes that you'd like to hear, definitely let me know. That goes for all of you guys. Yeah, thanks, Darren, for agreeing with me. So Eminem, his accolades include 17 Billboard Music Awards, 8 American Music Awards, and 15 Grammys. And this is coming from the guy that I think said he would never accept a Grammy back in his gangster days, but 15 Grammys. In 2022, he was officially inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Eminem is, without doubt, the number one hip hop artist of all time in many areas. So I hope you guys, what do you guys think of the my main ones? I know, Paul, you were saying that Run DMC, and I see your point. It's just circumstantial for them, but talk about pioneers. They were really the original pioneers of hip hop. So yeah, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for this week. Just before I let you guys go, I want to let you know we're going to a complete. Thanks, Ange. Appreciate it. I'm going to a completely. I'm so happy, Chrissy, that you liked it. And if you have any other ones, any other themes, guys, feel free, type them in before I go here, and I'll definitely try to put them on a Tuesday as soon as possible. Just to let you know, though, next week, remember, Tuesday, 8 p.m. here on TikTok Live, the greatest country artist of all time. That's right. I'm just going to swing from one extreme to the other because that's how I roll. You know, first it's hip hop, next week it's country. Okay. I'm going to keep you guessing. So who's the greatest country artist of all time? Thanks, Vito. I appreciate you too, buddy. Sorry, Paul, you're not a country guy, eh? I kind of figured going into a hip hop group and saying country might have been a little bit of extreme, but I just want to show that I kind of like the George Strait might be on there, Darren. So yeah, next Tuesday, 8 o'clock here on TikTok, the greatest country artist of all time will be featured. Who is it? Could it be Hank Williams? Is it like Tim McGraw? Is it, Garth Brooks? Maybe Patsy Cline? We'll have to find out next week. We're going to be doing a lot. I love new country, so there's going to be a lot of new artists too. And just Last thing, be sure and check me out on social media. I'm on most of the major platforms, and you can easily find me by typing in DJ Ray's Music on pretty much any social media platform. Uh, if you prefer, you can also check out my website at djraysmusic.com. So with that, you saw Tim McGraw 2 times, eh? So you're Vito, you're a country fan. That's good. You definitely got if you like country and like me, I love all genres of music. It's almost, but I can't lie. I really do love country. So next week, hopefully we'll see some of you Tuesday night, January 14th, 8 p.m., right here on TikTok Live. Thanks again, everybody, for coming. Thanks for all the love, and we'll see you soon.